In this video, I'll show you how to use the Yeetus in all the map it's currently featured in. However, I won't be mentioning the Yeetus clan ones because they don't appear in the main modes. Dizzy Heights. You can position yourself two ways. One where you stand on either side, you wait until the Yeetus has crossed the 12 o'clock range, then jump. Or another thing you can do is you can stand directly in front of the Yeetus and jump when you see the Yeetus is about to hit you. Both hinge on waiting for the Yeetus to pass the 12 o'clock range or as soon as it crosses the 90-degree mark. Even if you jump when it's in the 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock range, as long as it's facing away from you, that's fine. Throughout this video, you will hear me say the 12 o'clock range or 12 o'clock position because it's safer if you jump earlier rather than later. Personally, I find it easier to stand on the sides and jump rather than stand directly in front of where the Yeetus will be. Fruit Shoot. A lot of beginners will avoid this Yeetus, but it couldn't be any easier. Run towards it and let it face away from you and jump. Or wait for the Yeetus to be in the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock position depending on which Yeetus you choose to take. Once you've gotten hit by the Yeetus, you can actually control your character in midair. So if need be, move your character forwards and to the side. The mistakes I see people make is that they will get hit by the edges of the Yeetus and get flung off the map. Standing front and center will make this a non-issue. This Yeetus is something that everyone should use no matter your skill level. If you fail it, you can try again and again until you get it down. You'll master it eventually and you wonder how you lived without it. Gate Crash. This Yeetus is quite difficult to do due to where it's placed. You can take the Yeetus one of two ways, the side, or you can go underneath the Yeetus and stand directly in front of it. The former is much easier to do. You run down the slope and position yourself near the side of the Yeetus, almost to where you're running in line with it. Then slow yourself down by pulling your joystick in the other direction and get in front of it and jump once you see it past the 12 o'clock position. The hardest part is slowing yourself down in time. You could also stop moving when you're about to reach the Yeetus. Just make sure you end up in the front of it. The other way you could do is you could run straight to the Yeetus and wait for it to move, then jump as soon as it's about to hit you. I find running down the side to be much easier to do. DoorDash. For this one, I recommend you stand on the sides and jump when you see the Yeetus cross the 12 o'clock range. As long as it's facing away from you, that's fine. Also make sure to be in front of the Yeetus, but don't position yourself too close to it, otherwise you won't be able to get hit properly. This is a very simple Yeetus to use, so definitely use it. Night Fever. For the first Yeetus, you wait until it's about to go fully down or to the 6 o'clock position, then jump while holding forwards. And with any luck, you should get yeeted. Really, it's all about waiting for it to go down and then holding forwards when it's about to do so. Since this Yeetus is near spawn, I definitely recommend trying it a few times. If you fail, you can just respawn back and just do it over and over again until you get the rhythm down. The side set of Yeetus is something I find harder than the first Yeetus, weirdly enough. Basically, you need to position yourself slightly away from the Yeetus. It's just so where it can hit you, but don't be so close to it because otherwise it'll hit you, but you'll be ragdolled or potentially not have enough momentum to go forwards. There's also another Yeetus later in the video that functions the same way. If you're taking the Yeetus that is on the right side, you move to the left slightly, wait until it's at the 3 o'clock range, then jump. And while you're in midair, hold your joystick forwards if need be. However, if you're taking the left side Yeetus, repeat the same steps but move slightly to the right instead and wait until the Yeetus is in the 9 o'clock position. I'll be honest and say this Yeetus is hit or miss. More miss than hit actually. You could get yeeted properly, but you could end up falling through the gaps anyways. FREEZY Peak. In order to take it, you wait until the Yeetus is about to go downwards and jump while holding forwards. Position yourself to where you're jumping towards this hot air balloon almost. And with any luck, you should get yeeted. Seesaw. Much like Dizzy Heights, you can get yeeted by positioning yourself to the side or directly getting in front of it. Wait for the Yeetus to cross the 12 o'clock range, then jump. The furthest it can yeet you is to the yellow or blue seesaw. If you do choose to stand directly in front of the Yeetus, wait until it's crossed the 12 o'clock position, then jump. Or wait until the Yeetus has crossed the top part of the screen. Tail Tag. One of the more practical Yeetuses in my opinion. You can use it to quickly escape from people who are trying to grab your tail. This Yeetus pretty much works the same as the other Yeetuses previously mentioned. Jump when the Yeetus has crossed the 12 o'clock range. I definitely recommend you learn how to use this Yeetus because it can greatly aid you in qualifying on this map. SKYLINE Stumble. Personally, I always find myself using the Yeetus to the right side. I don't know why, it's just something that I've grown used to. If you choose to use the right side Yeetus, wait until the Yeetus is at the 3 o'clock range, then jump. And as for the left side Yeetus, do the same, but wait until it's in the 9 o'clock range. Really, once you learn one of the Yeetuses, you can pretty much learn all of them. TREETOP Tumble. In my opinion, the side set of Yeetuses are utterly useless. Yes, they do lead you to the slide and have some utility, but I find myself failing it so many times. And if you try to jump for the Yeetus and run to it, sometimes your character could actually hit the little lip and they fall off. I could have passed the slides a long time ago just by walking. Instead, on the top part, you're going to see Yeetus, and I definitely recommend you take that instead. Much like the Night Fever Yeetus, just wait until it goes down to the 6 o'clock position, then jump while holding forwards. And with any luck, you'll get yeeted to the water section. Ski Fall. Much like the Gate Crash Yeetus, run to where you're at the side of it, then slow yourself down by pulling your joystick back, or to slowly approach the Yeetus. Since it's very close to spawn, you could just run down the side slowly. But make sure you get in front of it, then jump once it's crossed your 9 o'clock range or once it reaches the side. In my opinion, I find this Yeetus to be a bit useless and quite unnecessary. If you do use it properly, you could get 5 points from the start, which definitely could help you qualify first, but it's not really that necessary. Tiptoe. Definitely the most unpredictable set of Yeetuses. For this one, I find that diving towards it is most likely to get you yeeted, oddly enough. Just make sure the head of the Yeetus is about to cross the 12 o'clock range, or another thing you could do is just jump down when the Yeetus has crossed the 12 o'clock range, and by the time you land, it should hopefully have done a full rotation, and with any luck, you'll get yeeted. I'll be blunt and say this Yeetus is very hard to do, but I'd say it's almost not worth doing, but I would say to try it out a few times, and who knows, you could get yeeted. Roll on. Speaking of Yeetuses that are not worth doing, did you even know this map had one? Because for the longest time, I didn't, and I wish I never found out. I'll have better luck getting rid of a forest fire with a toy water gun, and I'll have better luck passing Stentric and subscribers by the end of 2022 than getting yeeted by this utterly useless and asinine Yeetus. I'm sure someone will get yeeted by this one, and they'll make sure to comment down below letting me know, but goodness gracious, just skip this one. Literally positioned at the bottom, and I don't even know if it even does anything. If it was positioned at the sides like a Night Fever, I could see it being useful, and maybe they'll add it there one day, but for now, it is utterly dog crap. SLIMESCRAPER. Let's go to Yeetus that actually matters. This Yeetus requires a different approach than the usual, oddly enough. While you do wait for the Yeetus to cross your 12 o'clock range, you run to it and then jump dive. Running and jumping won't be enough to reach it, you gotta jump dive for it. Timing is the same as all the other Yeetuses, thankfully. Slime Climb. My favorite Yeetus skip in the entire game. Position yourself is critically important. Position yourself to the very end of this green stripe. Then once the Yeetus goes to the 3 o'clock range, that's when you jump while moving your joystick towards the Yeetus, and with any luck, you should get yeeted. Once you learn where to position yourself, you'll find yourself getting yeeted constantly. Just by standing on the very edge of this green stripe and jumping at the right time, you'll get yeeted easily. Really, it's just that simple. I was blown away when I saw someone do it that way. Most people hesitate when going for this Yeetus. That will definitely lead to your death, so don't be afraid of it. And also, another mistake that I see people doing is that they stand too close to the Yeetus. Definitely give yourself a bit of distance. If you ever get the LTM or limited time mode known as Big Yeetus Tour, that LTM contains all of the Yeetus maps in one show. Definitely use that to practice this Yeetus. And fun fact, thanks to that LTM, I actually mastered the Slime Climb Yeetus. Fall Mountain. My second favorite Yeetus skip in the game. You have to stand on the side in order to use this Yeetus. Stand on the side and in front of the Yeetus, and once it reaches the 9 o'clock range or to the side, you jump. But if you took it from the right side, you should move your character to the left side platform while in midair. And if you took it from the left side, you move your character to the right side platform. During a game of Fall Mountain, I always found myself running to the right side of the map. So I definitely recommend you learn how to use this Yeetus from the right side, because that's where you'll most likely end up being. Nonetheless, just wait for the Yeetus to go to the side, and being in front of it will make it so you get Yeetus almost always. Currently, as I'm recording this video, Big Yeetus Tour has this map as its only finale, so if you ever get the show, you can practice this one consistently. So as long as you make it to the finale, which I know you will, because you made it this far into the video. So if you got any value out of the video, consider subscribing.